Hi guys, today I'll be comparing three different fragrances, Fracas, Madonna's Truth or Dare, and Versace Blonde. This was a requested video, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about each fragrance and how they differ. So before having a look at the notes on the internet, I actually gave each one of these scents a full wear to get, the most out of the fragrance and to see how they develop and how each one is different to one another. So the first one I tried was Madonna's Truth or Dare. Now I didn't have this fragrance and I just bought the rollerball so I can compare. And when I first tried it, when you first smell it out of the rollerball like that, it just smells really sweet and vanilla-ish and very synthetic. So I thought, okay, that's a bit strange how most people compare it to Blonde or Fracas. So I applied some on my skin and found that it does change and the tuberose does come out, and it did remind me of Fracas and Blonde, but there is a but. It's very, very synthetic, and you can tell the products that have been used in Madonna's Truth or Dare are very different quality to, for instance, Fracas and Blonde. Yeah, very different quality. And also, I found that it has a lot of vanilla, whereas these two, they don't. I don't really get vanilla in either the Fracas or the Blonde. So this was loaded with vanilla. And it's kind of, they were trying to make, it feels like they were trying to make a copy of Fracas or Blonde, but they wanted to modernize the scent by adding vanilla or some, ambery vanilla notes, so it can be a little bit younger. That's what it feels like. So the notes for Truth or Dare are gardenia, tuberose neroli, jasmine, benzoin, white lily, and it's vanilla, caramelized amber, and sensual musk. And I do get the caramelized amber and vanilla and sensual musk. I do get those notes. They are very prominent. They take over the tuberose, I think. I think the middle of this scent, the middle bit is more likely, leaning towards Blonde more than Fracas, I think. Yeah, it's hard to say really, but it's not a copy of these two. No, definitely not. Definitely not. The notes are quite synthetic in this. It is very cheap. I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's an expensive perfume that smells cheap. It's very cheap and it does smell a little bit cheap, but it is different to what other celebrities have come up with. So it is a good one for a celebrity scent, but I don't really think it's fair to say it smells exactly like Fracas or Blonde. I don't think that's fair at all, because the materials used in this scent, for instance, Fracas, you can't compare it to Madonna's Truth or Dare. Maybe if this didn't have vanilla or amber notes or was a bit more green, it would in fact smell more like those two, I think. But if you can't, for some reason, if you can't get a hold of Fracas or Blonde, you can't find it or whatever, then yes, I would definitely give this one a go, because it does project nicely. It does stand out, and it's a tuberose scent. I mean, if you want to smell different to all those fruity florals out there that celebrities come up with nowadays, yes, then I would definitely get this one. And by the way, this has been discontinued, so if you do find it somewhere, grab it if you're into these types of scents. So it is, I would have it, like, I'm happy to have this 10ml rollerball in my collection. I don't think I need any more because I've got these two, but if I didn't and I can't have these two, then I'd definitely get Madonna's Truth or Dare. Now let's talk a little bit about Fracas. Fracas is a unique sort of tuberose scent. It's very animalic and very green and very, a little bit balmy actually, and it doesn't contain vanilla. I don't smell any vanilla in this, and you can just kind of smell more florals in there. You can smell the lily of the valley, some gardenia, the jasmine notes, vetiver. I can detect the vetiver in there as well. Oh, I've just sprayed it on my hand, so I'm kind of sniffing away. So yeah, you can kind of tell what notes have gone into this scent. Whereas with Madonna Truth or Dare, it's just a little bit, just synthetic. How can I say it? The notes are just too mingled together. You can't really pick up on anything but the amber and the vanilla. So, but in Fracas, you know, you pick up on a lot of beautiful things going on in there. Oh, it's just beautiful. Yeah, so the notes to Fracas are bergamot, mandarin and lilac, white flowers, tuberose, jasmine, narcissus, gardenia, lily of the valley, white iris, orange blossom, violet, sandalwood, vetiver, essential musk. I can definitely pick up some of the orange blossom as well. Yeah, definitely. But if this wasn't Madonna's Truth or Dare and it was in another type of, you know, bottle or something, and you didn't know what it was, you'd think it's probably a close copy of Fracas or Blonde. More towards Blonde, I think, more than Fracas. So, and this one is just beautifully crafted, very bold, very, just, you know, very heavy, very green, actually. It's watery and green at the same time. It's not a warm scent, it's a cold scent. So that's what makes it a little bit different to Truth or Dare. Now, I have tried Petite Fracas and I have Douglas Hanant, which do remind me of Fracas in a good way, because they're both obviously the same house, and wonderful products have been used to make those scents, and they do smell very similar to Fracas as well. So yeah. Now, Blonde was and always has been one of my favourites. Back in the day, it's just a wonderful tuberose, and if I didn't have it in my collection and I was to try this, for example, like spray it on my skin, I'd actually think that yes, it is very, very similar to it, especially in the middle part. But now, because I'm comparing them, you know, side by side, or you know, I've sprayed them all on my hand, they do differ. Blonde, it is a warm, spicy type of tuberose. It's less animalic than Fracas, and it's a little bit more greener than Fracas, and more wearable than Fracas. So I'd probably wear this, I don't know, to a romantic dinner or something. And then this one, if you want to have a, you know, night out, a beastly night out, Fracas is the one to wear. Whereas during the day, if you're just going shopping or whatever, this one is the one to wear. So yeah, this is more greener, more rounder, more warm. It's got warm, like a warmth to it. Now when I say spicy, I don't mean any spices are added or anything like that, but it's just got a tang to it. And I can definitely detect the carnation in there as well. Now this doesn't have vanilla in the notes, and I cannot detect any vanilla either. So it's a creamy, buttery tuberose. It's like a little sister to Fracas, and it's, in my opinion, I don't know if I should say that I prefer that one the most, but I'm not sure actually. It's a little bit different to Fracas. Again, it's, you know, I don't know which one I prefer actually. It projects okay. It's not the best. It's not like this beast over here. And it can be a little bit bitter in the dry down. I've noticed that. Now the notes are tuberose, gardenia, narcissus, neroli, benzoin, carnation, civet, and you can definitely smell some of that civet note. Ylang ylang, pittosporum, I have no idea what that is, musk, violet, and bergamot. So, I mean, the notes to all of these fragrances are basically very much the same, but sometimes, you know, something is added in here that's not in this one, or, you know, so pretty much they're basically very, very similar, except that this Madonna's Truth or Dare is quite synthetic compared to these two. So, yeah, I wouldn't say don't buy Fracas or Blonde and go for this one. I wouldn't say that. No, I would not recommend that. If you can get a hold of these two, then yes, they are better quality, and they last, you know, longer than this one and project better. But if you can't get a hold of those two, then yes, maybe go for that one. They're very similar. And I think one of Madonna's favourite scents, or her mum's or whatever, was Fracas. So she was trying to make a similar copy to it, which she has semi-succeeded, and she has added, as I said, those couple of different notes to it to make it more for the younger crowd, I think, which is okay, but it's just too synthetic for me. But and then I tried this as well to compare it with the other ones. This is Blonde Perfume, and this one is just a little bit more greener than the original one. Yeah, just a bit more greener, I think, and more zestier. So yeah, that was my take on these three different fragrances. Yeah, so in conclusion, I'd say Fracas is a beast of a fragrance. Some people find it very hard to wear. It's just too much for some people, and it's just like a beast. So if you're not into that, then I recommend you try Blonde if you can. You can even get them in minis like this, because it is the better one out of the Madonna Truth or Dare. It's just a nice 80s kind of a, you know, semi-heavy hitter, you can say. If you love tuberose, you have to have this in your collection. That's all I say. That's all I can say, basically. And this one is a softer, more wearable, more synthetic copycat of these two scents. But it's not the same. it's not exactly the same. No, it's more vanilla-ish and just more tropical gardenia, and it is animalic. I forgot to mention that. It is. It's got a bit of nasty in there as well. So it's a good one for a celebrity scent. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.